Welcome to Wine of the Day, where every day we offer a wine, a recommendation on a wine, and also a wine tip. In today's wine tip, we're going to talk about wine as not only being a complement to a dish or a palate cleanser, where you're tasting a dish and then something that's very garlicky and the wine kind of washes that away, so you have the second bite, the third bite, the fourth bite in between sips of wine, and the flavors kind of wash away, so it's like a fresh new bite all over again. But we're going to talk about wine as being a sauce, where if you have a rich, hearty Cabernet, or even a wine from Tuscany, where you have Sangiovese that is big and full and matches well with like a veal dish that doesn't really have a red sauce to it, a New York sirloin with a Cabernet, the wine becomes a sauce that is actually in a glass instead of on the dish itself. So it complements the dish as a condiment or a sauce. You don't want to have a wine that takes away the flavor of the food, but you want it to enhance it. And wine as a sauce is certainly an enhancer. Winemaker Tony Coltrane from Oberon has been doing it for 40 years. He's been making wine for quite a long time. But he's not your typical Napa winemaker. Tony has more of a Bordeaux-styled effect that he likes to have on the wine, where it's not going to be quite as big and jammy. He doesn't like overusing oak, so you get all that vanilla flavor. He likes making wines so that they're better food matches. They're not going to be big, jammy, I like to call them cocktail wines, where you can just have them by themselves, but if you try to match it up with food, it's kind of difficult sometimes. So Tony's got that style that he tries to emulate. He's also sourcing some of his grapes from 5 different vineyard sites. It's coming from Oakville, coming from Oak Knoll as well, Yountville, Chiles Valley, and then also from Capel Valley in Napa Valley. The grapes themselves, there's a blend. In California, if you have 75% of one grape varietal, you can call it that grape varietal. So he has more than 75% Cabernet in this Oberon Cab from Napa. He's got actually 94% Cabernet, but he's also using a little bit of Merlot and Syrah in the blend, 6% of those grapes combined. Almost like a chef using spices, the way they mix the grapes. But this Oberon is supposedly a Bordeaux style. We're going to give it a shot. See, the color is not that real super dark. I mean, it's certainly dark, but not that really, really black, dark Napa Cab. The nose is great. You're getting some of that brambly fruit, which is more of a Bordeaux attribute than it is a Napa attribute. But you're getting some blackberry, you're getting some blueberry as well. And it's balanced. You're not getting too much oak there. It's a really, really nice balanced wine. Bordeaux style, sure, but still you're getting some of that Napa fruit, so it's that kind of in-between Bordeaux-Napa combo, which I like. I'm more of a Bordeaux and French and Italian and European wine fan myself, so this suits my palate more than a big, huge Napa Cab will, although a lot of you I know like those big Napa Cabs. Now for a food pair. Steaks, meats, roasted dishes, braised dishes are always great with big red wines. This Oberon is a big red wine. I think that you could go with that. I'd like to go with just like a grilled New York sirloin. Something on the grill, use this as a sauce like my wine tip suggested, and use that combination together, kind of go simple with this. You could go with a steak au poivre and go with spicy. I think there's enough fruit here to put out some of that fire in a peppercorn spice. But a really, really nice, easy wine. But the best thing about this wine is the price. It's $16 at Tenutas. That's one of our partners in Wine of the Day. You can buy this wine at Tenutas for $16 for a Napa Cab. That's just crazy. When you go into Tenutas, if you're looking for this wine, ask for Chris, ask for Kyle. Tell them you heard about this wine on Wine of the Day. I think you're going to like this. It's one of our many, many wines that we're going to introduce to you. And we'll always tell you where you can get it and tell you about some of the flavors of the wine itself. Thank you very much for joining us again. Enjoy your wine and cheers.